Julian's Way here, guys. What is up? And today I want to talk about this guy right here, Mr. Second place at the Olympia Classic Physique 2020. So Terrence, I followed Terrence a long time since the controversy when it all started out in 2016, the Classic division, where Danny Hester won that year, and there was a sort of a controversy with Terrence and Sadiq. I do not know if you guys remember Sadiq beating Terrence. I think Terrence came in at 9th place, and that was just I thought that was robbery in my opinion. I mean, he did get to stand next to guys like Arash. Then Arash was firing and kicking. He was one of the top guys. Not right now, definitely not right now. And I even thought Terrence was more complete than Sadiq and Arash. So I do not know how he got that place in there. We all thought that it looked better, and there was a lot of talks about popularity and politics and all that stuff, and things kind of went viral for a while. Comparing these guys here though, you can clearly see that Terrence just looks better from the back. Look at his back separation, shoulders, hamstrings, calves. You can even see a piece of his glutes racing down his hamstrings here for that tie-in, and this was definitely robbery politics without a doubt. And this did went viral. There were a lot of memes about this. I can remember this went viral like for an entire year. So he did not place even top 5. Brian didn't even place top 3. I think Brian was 4th. And Darren Charles, I think, was 5th. Sadiq was 3rd. Arash was 2nd. And Danny Hester 1st. So that's how things went down in 2016. And then, of course, we know what happened in 2016. So here he kind of came up back. He kind of went from 9th place to 6th place. And he actually placed back in front of Sadiq. Sadiq came in at 7th. Alright, so he did improve here. As you could see, the size difference alone. He made some improvements, and he came in sharper. He came in better. So I guess he did deserve that 6th place, or even maybe higher. I do not want to say higher, but definitely he beat Sadiq, even though Sadiq came in better than he did, way better. Sadiq was improved, and Terrence still managed to beat him. So it's just like ridiculous, you know. Terrence made some improvements, but Sadiq made great improvements and did not place back in front of Terrence. So that goes just to show that it was definitely politics in 2016, and it was robbery. Anyway, so moving on, in 2018, he did the Toronto Super Show, and he did won that, and he would qualify for the Olympia in 2018. So this is where he was striking. He did well, you know. His posing had improved, and definitely was remarkable, and his status was going up, you know. His caliber and everything was just improved. He just kept on improving. But the Olympia that year had a really tough lineup. There were some new guys that came in like really sharp, and you know, this is how he looked at the Olympia. Pretty good, improving as usual. But you know, he was still lacking his upper body compared to his lower body. His upper body wasn't that dominant as his lower body. So this guy here, Henry Pierre, I think he had placed 4th, where George, of course, 3rd, Chris and Brian winning in 2018. So I'm not gonna go through back that. We already know how the placings were at that time. But yeah, Terrence came in, I think Terrence came in at 9th. He did not even make top 5 or top 6. So that was what it was. And moving on to 2019, late 2019 that would be. So definitely he won the Niagara Falls there. I can remember this here later on. So he kind of set out the Olympia, get off season, gain some muscle. As you can see, his upper body has already started improving here, and he did make some gains. So he did qualify for the 2020 Olympia. And I remember here he won here. There was Greg Doucette there. I think Greg got 4th or 5th place, and he wanted to achieve that. Nevertheless, this was a Terrence show, and definitely afterwards he went on to the Arnold Classic 2020. there people had him winning. You'd see his improvements. He'd had a pretty long off season again there. So from the time from that to Arnold Classic, you know, that gap, he had some time to recover and build some more muscle, mostly focusing on his upper body. He know that needed to catch up, especially his arms, his biceps and so on. Chest definitely. So people had him winning this show, you know, and it did not turn out that way. Fellow Cabanero took this show here. We all know if you've been following bodybuilding, but Terrence managed to beat Steve. Now Steve is a tall guy, kind of like in the rankings with, I would say, not with Chris's caliber, but in terms of height and structure and small waist, and with Brian Jones, he's in that sort of. Look at the guy next to him though, he's pretty tall, but I think Steve can definitely make a statement, man. Look at Steve's waist for his height and his structure. He just has that kind of a classic version of Paul Dillett. All right, so look at his physique, man. He's a monster. I think he can definitely do some damage later in the classic physique. Look at his vacuum, look at his lats, but his conditioning wasn't there. And yet again, conditioning wins shows. All right, it does win shows. So fellow Cabanero managed to beat out Terrence here, earning his first spot, and definitely things would have gone down different at the Olympia. So yeah, it was another battle, you know. So it was battle to battle until the real war came. But I mean, look at the improvement on this guy. He is definitely, look at his chest compared to before. I mean, this is not staged, but look at how he was already detailed and almost stage ready here. Look at his upper body. You can see the difference there, matching his legs a bit more. Definitely brought up his upper body, and he'd had a long off season, and I think that did him well, the resting and taking time off to grow and recuperate. Definitely did him well. And of course his coach digging in, and definitely, man, look at the tie-in on the glutes and hamstrings there. His upper body, his chest popping. Terrence definitely worked hard and did not give up. I know a lot of guys dropped out of the classic physique. So leading up to the Olympia there, we already know what happened. And now people might have said that, you know, George wasn't there, or this guy Keon wasn't there, but that's not the case, man. He beat one of the best, if not the best version of Brian. All right, Brian said he was bringing everything. That was his best condition, and yet he went on to say he got more work to do, and his excuses about not beating Chris. You know, he said he was bringing his best package ever, and Chris beat his best package, and Terrence beat his best package. So George there, I don't think it would have made a difference. Maybe he would have been able to even beat George, but who knows what George or Keon would have looked like. But I definitely think that he deserved his second place, and props to him again. You know, he came a long way, and definitely, man, his conditioning was just crazy. All right, just crazy details, and his posing, I guess, as well, how he presented himself, all did him well. I would definitely want to say he's probably the most improved classic physique guy of 2020. I mean, Chris has damn improved as well. Maybe it might be Chris, between him and Chris, and they both placed first and second, but definitely coming from 9th place in 2018 and in 2020 came in at second. That's definitely props to him. All right, guys, so just to take that into consideration, that's a big jump. That's like 7th jump. So it is what it is, guys, and yep, definitely I think he deserves it. Crazy improvements from this guy right here. The density in his back, everything has improved, you know, his upper body matching his legs. Definitely gaining more size, and look at his transformation, man. Crazy transformation here. Definitely, you know, he put himself on the map, and he's going to be a threat in the future. And definitely, I think, you know, he has the tools to, I wouldn't say beat Chris, but I do really like his structure. Definitely. All right, guys, that's it. I'm going to wrap the video up. If you made it this far, please give the video a thumbs up. Also, remember to please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. Leave your comments and, yeah, your likes. Until my next video, guys. Peace and take care. Stay safe. And hit the bell button for notifications.